welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Chloe and I share behind the scenes of running my small business, Hoppity Designs, along with some tips and tricks to help you along the way. I thought it was about time that I gave you some key tips on how to make your brand stand out, be memorable and keep your customers coming back for more. But before I dive in, I just want to chat with you quickly about my most recent launch. If you caught last week's vlog, you'll know that on January the 31st I launched the New Year Say Me collection. I'd originally planned to film a launch day vlog, but honestly I didn't want to, because here's the truth. My launch completely flopped. I got a total of 3 orders. One of those was over the launch weekend and the other 2 were after I complained on threads about how badly the launch had gone. Am I disappointed? Yes. Am I upset? Not really, because shit happens. Not every launch is going to be a hit, and that's just part of running a business. For me, even though I'm 6 years in, it's still a learning curve, and I'm taking it as a chance to pivot, grow and move forward. There's no time to dwell in the small business world, so I'm picking myself up and getting back to it. Anyway, let's dive into today's topic: 5 tips to help you build a recognizable brand. And I am sorry about my chair. I'm trying desperately not to move, but it's buggered. I wish I never got it, but it's here, it's creaky, and I might end up sinking to the floor because the gas lift's gone on it, so you'll have to bear with me. Tip number 1. Choose a unique, memorable and understandable name. This is hands down one of the most important aspects to building a brand. Your brand name should be easy to read, easy to pronounce and easy to remember. Avoid complicated spellings, overly generic names or anything that could be misinterpreted. By misinterpreted I mean, for example, my sister's recently rebranded her photography brand because her previous name was For Real Photography and it was spelt fur real, as in like dog fur for example, so For Real Photography. But the amount of people that read that as funeral photography, well, that has a completely different meaning and I don't even know if that exists. So yeah, it's really important to have something that can't be misinterpreted like that and portrays what you actually do. Let's take bakeries for example. Around 75% of my customers are bakers, and out of those probably 70% have very similar names. Things like Bakes by Katie or Sally's Bakes. Now, imagine you're a customer trying to remember the name of that one bakery you liked, but there are 5 with almost the same name. Confusing, right? A great example of a unique name is from a baker that I have recently followed on Instagram called Get Baked by Rich Myers. Yes, okay, it's got the word baked in it, but no one's saying that you can't use those words, just use them differently. It stands out because it fits his personality. Sarcastic, no nonsense, and humorous. His brand is instantly recognizable because the name reflects who he is. So be more like Rich, a name that is truly yours and sets you apart. Tip number 2, choose the right colours. Colours play a huge role in branding. They influence emotions, mood and perception. For example, blue could be trustworthy, professional and calm, but can also feel a little bit sad, whereas yellow is fun, energetic, happy. Think McDonald's. Speaking of McDonald's, their main colour is yellow because their brand is all about happiness, fun and excitement. Now compare that to the Co-op, which uses blue to represent community and reliability. Your brand's colour palette should match your brand's personality and be something that you love. Trust me, if you don't like your brand colours, creating content is going to feel like a huge chore. Why do you think bright pink is literally everywhere in my business? My socials, my website, my office. I love it and I love it a lot. So choose colours that you actually enjoy working with. It makes everything so much easier. Tip number 3, select the right fonts. Fonts are just as important as colours. They set the tone and help to make a brand instantly recognisable. For example, a bold, bubbly style font feels fun and playful, or a messy, jagged font can feel spooky or chaotic. Your fonts also need to be legible at different sizes, especially for business cards, invoices and packaging. A good rule of thumb is to have 2 to 3 fonts that work together: a bold font for headers, a cursive or script font for taglines, and a serif or sans serif font for body text. Keeping your fonts consistent helps build recognition. People should be able to see your fonts and instantly think of your brand. Tip number 4, design for versatility. Your logo needs to work in multiple formats. Here's what to check. Do you have different versions of your logo? Full logo, sub logo, icon, etc. Can your logo be easily read when it's printed small? Does it still look good in black and white? One quick way to test this is to print your logo in different sizes and in grayscale. Can you still read it clearly? If not, you might need to tweak it. Also, think about printing on clothing. So this is something that I have seen issues with, obviously, over the years. If your logo has lots of colours or gradients, it can be expensive to embroider or difficult to print. For example, ombre effects really do not work with embroidery because unless you can find the specific thread that changes at exactly the right time in the embroidery, in the ombre, it's just not going to work. A good logo should be clean, bold and easy to reproduce across all branding materials. Tip number 5, invest in high quality stationery and branding materials. You didn't spend hours perfecting your branding just to have it printed on cheap, shitty paper, did you? No, didn't think so. Your branding deserves high quality materials. Think about it. When you order from a premium brand, their packaging and their stationery feel high end. If you want to make a lasting impression, choose thick cardstock for business cards and packaging. Invest in high quality printing. Even if you're using recycled materials, it can still give a premium feel. And one last thing, don't pay someone £5 on Facebook to make you a logo in Canva. A brand is so much more than just a logo. Find a graphic designer with experience. Check their portfolio and make sure they understand your vision, because your brand identity is worth the investment. I really hope these tips have helped you to think what your brand identity is. Does your current branding give the right impression to your customers? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you have any questions, drop them below and I'll get back to you ASAP. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next week for another video. Bye!